Hi everyone, it's Heidi again. In the last video that I recorded about my trip to Europe and just the experiences that I had, what I saw was different, I mentioned the toilets, the hole size, the water level. I forgot to mention also the 2-button options that are usually above toilets. We have that sometimes here in America. I'm seeing them more and more, but they're a lot less common than when I was on my trip. That is for sure. So several of you sent me a video that is on YouTube. It's actually only been out for 4 days now. It's called Why American Toilets Suck. And I am genuinely curious about what they have to say about that. Like, what are we doing over here? What's going on? Let's watch it together. I'm excited to learn more about this very peculiar topic.
The toilet. Ubiquitous for all people who can afford to watch a video like this one in their free time. Taking an ass value,
Good job,
they
everyone.
seem simple, maybe even boring. But you couldn't be more wrong.
Toilets. Did you notice if you traveled around the world, how different they are?
And the differences in toilets reveal profound differences in culture. Europe and America are not the same, and neither are their toilets.
I can just feel you guys in the comments typing, America is a country, Europe is a continent. We do know this. And if there are some countries in Europe that don't have the kind of bigger hole in the toilet and higher or lower water levels, let me know what countries, if there are some countries that do not have that, you just tell me. Also, I think this is the EU specifically, not really all of Europe. It looks like maybe. But anyway, let me know. I understand. I get it. It's okay.
We spend a crap ton of time on the toilet,
But
but we spend even more time on our careers. This is your life in weeks if you're lucky enough to turn 80 years old. And this is the amount of time you'll spend working. 80,000 hours. It's also the name of today's sponsor, a non-profit that wants to help you figure out what to spend all this
why
time
are we talking
on.
about this?
80,000 hours.
All right, so I actually did skip the sponsorship because that is their video. That company wanted their advertisement on their video. So definitely I would recommend going and looking at the video on Fern's channel so you can, support them and check out their sponsorship offers and things like that. But we are going to continue with the toilet video for our learning.
Humans consume food in order to collect nutrients, vital substances necessary for the human's ability to survive, grow, and reproduce.
Is that butter?
But humans do not absorb all their food, so waste they produce. As a solution, humans have made hardware that can dispose of waste more efficiently than themselves.
This is so funny.
And like a lot of technology, we produce different answers for the same problem. The solution for many Americans and Europeans is the flush toilet. An advanced machine commands water to direct waste towards a desired end, usually made up of a strong ceramic bowl. The principles behind all
Sorry, not just a ceramic bowl, a strong ceramic bowl. I'm loving this already. The creativity and just like attention to detail and just how serious the tone is and everything is so funny to me. I'm loving this. I feel like he knows how to draw somebody in.
The principles behind all flush toilets, simple, but the differences between them, profound.
Profound.
In mainland Europe, the washdown toilet is more common, clearly taking inspiration from the older pole chain toilet. Although it was invented in England, it is often referred to as the French model because it became widely adopted there.
Interesting.
Clean water from the tank pours directly into the bowl, pushing waste out. But in the US and the United Kingdom, you'll find the siphonic toilet.
Siphonic? I've never heard our toilets called the siphonic toilets. Very interesting. Okay, I'm learning way more about the technicalities of toilets than I thought I would. This is awesome.
Way creates a siphon that produces a vacuum which pulls waste out. American toilets literally suck. Reflecting American per capita water use,
I get it.
American siphonic toilets use more water than European wash-down toilets.
That is what you guys were explaining in the comments. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
The vacuum mechanism requires a constant minimal level of water. But since the European washdown toilet doesn't use a vacuum, it doesn't require a minimal level of water. This allows Europeans to equip their toilets with a dual flush, one integrated system for lighter loads and the other for heavier.
Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to know the difference sometimes, but I do know that every once in a while it would just be a big circle with kind of the same size options on each side. And I didn't actually know which one was supposed to be the smaller option versus the larger option. Is it always that for, I don't know, feces, it's on the left side, and then where you don't need as much water is on the right side? Is that a thing, or do you just not know sometimes? What are your guys' experience? What should I know? Maybe he'll explain it too.
The siphon mechanism also creates a higher tendency to clog. An S-shaped trapway is harder to maneuver than an R-shaped one. But have no fear, because the flushing power of a siphonic toilet can be increased by engineering a compression tank into the ceramic frame. Institutions that run into a much higher risk for clogs need a clog-free guaranteed flush.
For sure.
Some may think that a pressure tank is a bit overkill, because it kind of is, especially considering a clog-free alternative already existing in the European washdown toilet. But the washdown toilet isn't perfect. Reflecting European pretentiousness and the love for the smell of their own excrement, washdown toilets have a tendency to produce a worse odor. The siphonic toilet's additional water use means waste is practically always covered, insulating unpleasant smells.
Yes, kind of, but it definitely does not eliminate the smells. That is for sure. Maybe it would be a little bit worse without those water levels, but at the same time, we have the smells in the public restrooms too. So do not be fooled.
It also self-cleans better during every flush. But
That
the
is true, though.
washdown toilet becomes even more controversial when you're willing to venture into some old Dutch and German homes. There, you can still sometimes have the honor of sitting on the wash-out toilet, a different iteration of the wash-down toilet. An inspection shelf has been placed into the toilet frame.
The German toilets, the old type, now they are disappearing, but you still find them. It's the opposite. The hole is in front. France, the hole of the toilet bowl is in the back. Anglo-Saxon world, United States, you get, the toilet bowl which is full of water, so that...
And the hole is in the back
According
as
to
well.
Zizek, Hegel was one of the first to introduce the idea of a European trinity, embodied by German reflective thoroughness, French revolutionary hastiness, and English moderate pragmatism.
And my God, it did strike me, isn't this the key? In France, revolutionary approach. Hole for the sheet in the back, it should quickly be liquidated, like a kind of a guillotine. Anglo-Saxon, pragmatic, let it float, let's be rational. German, metaphysics and poetry. You observe it, you think, and so on.
But it goes even deeper. In 2016, the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union, a nation's controversial decision to move closer to the Anglosphere. But Brexit was a surprise to no one who understood bathrooms. Although France and Germany may sometimes have different toilets, they can both be found in the same European stalls. The UK, on the other hand, has always served in a precarious position.
I do want to say, if these are European stalls, these little slits here, this is very inaccurate. They don't have slits like this. At least not what I experienced, not what I've heard other people experience. This is not Europe. This is more of an American thing. Anyway, that's going to bother me now that I've actually been there.
The UK, on the other hand, has always served in a precarious position, divided between both America and Europe. It shares a toilet with the US, but no matter how hard they try to avoid it, British toilets are still found in European stalls. The standard American partition has around 30 centimeters of space between stall and ground, but the European partition, actually called the European style partition by American partition companies, usually reaches the floor.
So much better,
This
by the way.
is weird, because there's a pretty lasting stereotype that Americans are more prudish than the average
is
European.
weird.
If you're less comfortable with being naked, the more private the stall, obviously, the better. So there had to be a deeper reason. According to one of the largest bathroom partition and restroom stall distributors in the United States, American stalls have always had a gap at the bottom and the top, meaning you can see someone's feet when a stall is occupied. This is a big issue for Europeans
I hate that they go
because they're used
farther
to
down.
enclosed stalls. At first glance, this may appear like a complete win for the European stall, but there's a reason why American stalls have this gap installed. Fucking bad writing. The company goes on to explain that the stalls are primarily designed for emergency service workers to access cubicles when someone is distressed.
I have
But
heard
this
that.
problem can easily be solved by the European-style partition by having master keys and even slight gaps. Surely there must be another reason why the American-style partition is so popular and widespread. So we dug even deeper. The American stall encourages people to do their business and avoid hanging around, which can benefit employers looking to enhance workers' productivity. And that's the answer. Americans log some of the longest work hours among industrialized nations, especially when compared with Europeans.
I don't know if I've heard that reason before. I haven't come across that one yet. Does that actually work? Maybe it does. I know that I've definitely taken some serious breaks and just have been on my phone, even with the freaking gap underneath. I don't know. When you need a break, you need a break. But that is very interesting. They want people to feel kind of more uncomfortable being in their bathroom stall so that they get out faster. That's what I'm hearing here. I think that's interesting. I feel like that is treating employees and people that work for you and in your building more like robots or workers, like how many hours can we get out of this person, than treating them like a human being who freaking needs to shit. Very, very interesting and very, very American.
The bathrooms are not designed to maximize the most convenient, pleasant bathroom experience, but to maximize raw output.
Yeah.
America and Europe are not the same, and neither are their toilets.
No, they're not. Is it already over? Oh my gosh, that flew by. That was freaking 8.5 minutes that felt like 3 minutes. Well, besides all of my talking, of course. All right, so I don't have too much to say because I do tend to pause the video when I do have something to say, because otherwise I have a hard time remembering all of the comments that I wanted to share. Just overall, that was a very interesting video. I definitely learned more than I thought I would, because I had heard of different reasons for the stalls, you know, having spaces and things like that. But I did not hear that perspective on helping people be more productive and getting in and back out faster because of the bathroom stalls. That is so weird to me. Is that weird to anybody else? Is that like kind of inhumane in a way? I don't know. Maybe it's not that big of a deal, but it seems a little bit weird to me. But as far as the different types of toilets, that was very interesting. Did not know that we had different names for the toilets that we have. It makes sense. I just never come across them, and that was really cool to learn as well. But I am excited to see more and more toilets with the 2-button, what was it called? The 2-button system. And I'm also very happy to, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, I'm happy to see more and more stalls that actually do go down to the ground, or just have maybe a smaller gap, maybe this big. It is progress for the United States. And I do see more and more stalls in public places that are maybe more newly built that do not have gaps on the sides of the stalls. So we are making very, very slight progress, but hopefully we will see more and more of that here in America. But I really enjoyed watching this video. Thank you guys so much for sending this to me. Definitely go check out Fern. Make sure to support the video over there. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe as well. I always forget to ask that. And more videos about my trip, country specifics later on. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!